Hey everyone, it is Emily from Fort Worth Moms, and I am here with my pal and coworker and co-host Beth. She's the co-host of Mom Fashions podcast. She's also the producer for Mom Fashions podcast, and she is the sponsorship coordinator for Fort Worth Moms. And she is hanging out with me for our next installment of 5 fast-ish questions. Yay! So I have prepped her for one of the questions, but the other, and that's really fun for me. Okay. All right. So first one is going to be pretty easy. It's who the heck are you? Like, not only just who you are as a woman, who you are as a mom, but like, I talked a little bit about what you do for Fort Worth Moms, but just tell us more. Like, who are you, Beth?
Well, I feel like I've spent a lot of time in counseling trying to answer that question. So, you may or may not get a good answer. So I am a mom of 3 girls. We have lived in Fort Worth almost 8 years, or maybe over 8 years. I've lost count. Now, I say that apparently my text messages are blowing up right now. I'm very popular.
They see you on Fort Worth Moms Live. You're
They're
famous.
like, oh
my gosh, I see you. It's okay. We are all used to the ding.
Yeah.
In fact, probably when everyone heard the ding, they checked their own phone.
Oh, yeah. They were all like, wait, what?
Wait, is that me?
So I share how long I've been here because never, ever in my life have I lived anywhere more than 5 years. So to be here 8-ish years and to have lost count is a huge milestone in my life. And it makes me a little uneasy because for the last 3 years, I've been wondering when I'm going to move.
You've been itching to get a new couch. You're going to have to listen to a Mom Fashions episode to understand the importance of that. But yes, you're like, am I moving? I need a new couch.
Yes, I need something, it's either that or another pet. So it's, So yeah, I love animals. I'm a big animal lover. I have not always been that way. But now I have a lot of them. I have kind of an ark over here in in my little Fort Worth suburb. And I actually just added another job to my my list of hats that I am putting on. So I do a lot for Fort Worth Moms, and I just got on with a nonprofit working with senior citizens, and that is an adventure in itself. I also am what I like to call the minister to plants at my church, in which I get paid to water plants once a week.
Great.
So it's wonderful. I expect to be ordained any day now.
We'll be the first official ordained minister of plants.
Yes, it's fantastic ministry. So yeah, I do a
I
lot
love
of different things. So I teach Bible study. I do stuff.
You do. So, you do a lot of stuff. Yes.
And I like to nap.
I'm tired just like thinking about all that.
Yeah, no, napping happens a lot. It's a lot of naps. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Question number 2. What has been your greatest joy in motherhood?
I love seeing who my kids are turning into. And that's been, from the moment that they're born and you see them the first time, or even on the sonograms. I feel like each of my kids looked so different and did like even their movements. I'm like, you did that in my womb. I saw you do that, but getting to know them as individuals, as people, as little women who are someday going to be these just powerful women out in the world. I love it. I love when I get to, I don't know, like see who they are, see who they're becoming. It's fun.
I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Uh-huh.
Okay, question number 3. What has been your hardest challenge in motherhood?
Mhm. So I have really my whole life, but especially after having babies, um, struggled with depression and anxiety, clinical depression and anxiety. Um, so I've been medicated on and off, and since having my third child, have just been continuously medicated, which is kind of a weird way to say that, but I have taken medication for those things, and honestly, that is my biggest it's my biggest battle for a lot of reasons. One, because it affects my energy level, and I feel like I cannot connect in the ways that I need to, all the time. It affects my desire to connect, um, but then I also get that heaping mom guilt that all of us get doses of, of all the ways that I'm like, if only I had more energy, if only I was able to get out of my head more, that kind of thing. So yeah, just struggling with a mental illness and being a mom. Um, it can feel like a lot some days. So
Yeah. I know a lot of moms are in that same boat.
oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, what is one product or item that you would recommend to another mom?
Okay, so this is the one that you prepared me for. So I brought
Yes, yes.
examples. Um,
Yay!
Now I don't know if this is necessarily like just a mom thing, but this is what they are. I'll hold them up. They're fake fingernails. um,
Hey.
but they're awesome because they stay for I can usually get about a week out of them. I've gotten 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Um, they're anywhere between $6 and $10, and it's got to be this brand, this Impress brand, and it comes in these skinny boxes, not the big boxes. And the
Okay.
reason I love them is because they're cheap and I can throw them on really fast when I need to like feel like I'm a little more put together.
Uh-huh.
Um, and like I've got them on today.
So do you just trim them down to the length you want?
Yeah, and they're not hard plastic. They're kind of like a gel, almost like a thin rubber kind of.
Huh,
Yeah,
okay.
so, and you just peel them. There's no glue. You just peel off the back, you stick them on, you trim them down, and I
And they'll
love
stay
them.
on after you bathe? You are bathing
Yeah.
more than once a week, right? Okay.
Well, I don't
No,
know,
I'm just kidding.
anyway.
I'm teasing. It doesn't
Um,
matter.
but, I do. I mean,
I know.
occasionally. They do, they stay on. The only problem is, like, if you garden or something, I mean, you're gonna get dirt underneath them.
Yeah,
But,
I do, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I keep them really short because I don't like long nails, but it just makes me feel fancy, so
Yeah,
for
I'm
6
gonna try
bucks,
those.
you too can feel fancy.
Great,
So
that's a good tip.
and
I love that tip.
if you wanna bond with your kid at some point, they now have, like, miniature ones that are
Mhm.
actually, like, kid-sized,
Okay,
which
cool.
normally stick-on nails, they don't. They're like, who can even I don't know.
Like, they don't even last 30 minutes because 'cause we've got because
Well,
my
yeah.
older daughter, like, wants to be, like, snazzy with nails,
Mhm.
and, like, we've gotten them before, like, for
Yeah.
gifts or prizes, and, yeah, it ends in tears every time, so I'm gonna
Mhm.
take your word for it, and I'm gonna try those.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Impress nails.
okay, good
I
tip.
like 'em.
Okay, last question, here we go, number 5. If you could give any advice to a mom who's finding herself in this situation, what would it be
Mhm.
if she is finding herself with an unexpected pregnancy?
Yes. Yes. I'm actually glad that you're asking this question because it's kind of it can be a hard topic. Um, so I'll back it up with a little bit of history. So I have 3 daughters. The first 2 we had planned to have. We were blessed with easily to get pregnant. The pregnancies were a little rough, but
Your
um,
fertility was great in this instance.
fertility. Yeah, I am
Fertility was okay. No struggles there.
yes, yes, like breeding stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know
Um,
what you mean, Beth.
got pregnant easily. And
And you planned for it. You
we
wanted it to
planned for
happen.
it. Yes, we were like, yes, it's time for number 1. Okay, it's time for number 2, smooth sailing. And then after number 2, we were like, I think we're good. Um, and then, uh, about I think my second daughter was, I wanna say, just barely over a year, and I was doing Whole30 with my husband, and he was rapidly losing weight and riding 50 miles on his bike, and we're on day 18, and I'm laying on the couch having gained 5 pounds and wanting to punch him. Like, I was just like, "What is happening?" And so finally it just popped in my head that I should probably just start seeing what's going on, and I got a pregnancy test. I took it in Target, and it was immediately positive. We were on birth control, 2 kinds of birth control. Um, God wanted this baby, is all I have to say. So, I wandered around Target for about an hour like a zombie. I called my friend in China and left her a frantic message, and then went home and told my husband that he would bring a pizza home or there would be serious issues. And he was like, "We're doing Whole30." Um, but he walked in and, cornered me and made me tell him what was going on, and I just fell apart because, and this is where it's hard to talk about, because I know that there are women who would kill to have a baby right now. And if you are one of those women, please know that you are seen, and that your desire and your pain is understood and seen. And please know that what I say from my experience does not change the way that I understand your experience. Um, but for me, I was ready for my kids to start growing up, to be out of the baby stages, and for me to start working towards a career in different things, and to start kind of like wiggling out of uh, that little kid space that I was in. Like, I was ready to move forward. And so finding out I was pregnant at that time felt like I was starting over. And I wasn't mentally prepared for it. And to be honest, I grieved for a little bit. Um, and again, that's hard to say knowing other women's experiences. It's hard to admit that. Um, I grieved for a bit because I felt like I was losing some of my freedom, my personal freedom. And and that was hard. It was hard at the time. Um, but if you are in that situation and you are like, what is happening? Like, I have done all the things to make sure this didn't happen, and now we're here. Um, just just hold on. Like, just hold on. You're going to go through this pregnancy, and you may grieve the entire time. You may even grieve after it for a little while, and that's okay. um, but I would go back and I would do it over and over and over again, just to have my precocious, now 5-year-old, um, come and snuggle up with me every morning and just kiss me all over the face. And I mean, she is my biggest fan right now. And if for not, it's so sweet to have her. I always say that she is sweetness incarnate. Like, she is just, oh, and I call her Squeezy Baby because she is just so squeezy and wonderful.
She
And
is crazy.
so hold on, push through. Like, Sunday's coming, baby. Like, it's gonna be okay, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, it is true. I've said this, I think I've said this from the podcast.
Mhm.
We've talked about that everyone's hard may be
Mhm.
different,
Yeah.
but everyone's hard is hard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we don't have to try to minimize our own
Mhm.
hard to try to, like,
Yeah.
make other people feel better,
Yeah.
but we can accept our own hard and also
Mhm.
accept another person's hard,
Mhm.
because that's part of motherhood, right? We talk about
Yeah.
the joy and the burden of motherhood.
Mhm.
Like, there are things that we grieve as we go through it, but there are lots of joys and the beauty of that relationship. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of that too is true, even as we are in this May season, which is
Mhm.
Mother's Day, and that can be like, it is a time of celebration and joy, but it can also be a time of hard things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Beth, thank you so much for
Of
sharing so
course.
openly and honestly with
Always.
us. Wonderful. You can catch more of Beth and me on Mom Visions podcast. We'll leave a link to that in the comments.
Yes.
But that was fun. I enjoyed it, learning a little bit more about Beth and
Yeah.
all that she does as a mom and with Fort Worth moms. All right. See you
All
later. Bye,
right.
Beth.
Bye.